Ooh.
There you go.
Where are you? Mike, are you in? Oh, 18,
I'm
perfect.
not so good at this.
Everyone's in now. All right, let's begin. Not the same one, of course not. This one is about constitutional convention. If there were 10,000 slaves in a state, how many would be in the population count? Remember the 3/5 compromise? It's very simple math. 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, or 6,000?
What was the question?
Right there on the top.
Chinese. Yeah.
6,000. Who can tell me the name of the compromise? 3/5 compromise. So 3,000 out of 5,000, 6,000 out of 10,000. That little math for you. Next.
Second place.
Who's this?
Toby.
Who's this little guy?
Who's T Swift? I don't like that. Is that you?
That's
T
not.
Swift? That's not.
Who's this
Who's the
guy?
smiley face?
Oh, Ellie. All
Of
right.
course it's
Which states wanted slaves to count in the population count for Congress? Southern states, northern, or central states? Who wanted slaves to count?
이건 모르면 진짜.
Yes,
Third place.
it was the southern states.
Yes. See?
Charlie, focus.
Who did Central?
Ellie's still in the lead. He's with the right behind. All right, next. Delegates who refused to sign the Constitution were afraid of a strong central government, states with too much power, slavery in the north, or slaves becoming fugitives. What were they afraid of? One more needs to answer.
Yeah. Ellie, I'm catching you.
Guys, yes, so they were afraid of too much power for the central government. They wanted states to have more power. It has nothing to do with slaves. Next. All right, Ellie's still in the lead. Very nice. The Constitutional Convention was held in Washington, D.C., New York City, Paris, or Philadelphia.
Huh. We'll see.
Who all should get this?
Definitely circle.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
Almost everyone.
Ellie, I'm finding you today.
It was definitely not Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. had not been founded yet. It's not New York or Paris. Ellie, nice job. Ooh. Who's that? All right, top 5. What is a Bill of Rights?
Bill of Rights.
What is it? Is it how much money freedom costs? Is it a list of freedoms the government protects? Or how the government is run? Very good. Almost everyone. All right. Yes, it's a list. Do you count? A list of freedom the government protects. It's definitely not number 1. Not how much money. That's a different kind of bill. All right. Next one.
Not so good. It's climbing the ranks.
Yeah.
Come on, Ellie. I'm coming after you.
Yeah, you wish. At least she's cracked the top 5 this time.
Exactly, not the bottom.
The Articles of Confederation gave the most power to the states, Congress, the President, or the courts. The Articles of Confederation, not Constitution.
What?
Who had the power?
Why wasn't that a good job?
States.
Oh.
Very nice. Micah, what did you say?
I wanted the states, but then it went to the president.
Are you clicking
Who
on
is
one?
black?
All
Who is
right.
black? Black people and behind you.
I mean, but
Every time.
Still the same top.
who is not so
Under
Me.
the Articles of Confederation, Congress could, what could they do? They tax citizens, regulate trade, elect the president, or declare war. They can only do one of these things.
Ah,
One of them.
How many questions are
what is
I
it?
think this is the last one.
Yes, the last one. Then final question.
Yeah, final one.
With
Oh.
They could
Yeah.
declare war.
No!
Yeah.
Come on, number one.
Let's see.
Not so good.
I did it.
Yeah.
Ah, June.
Oh, surprise winner. Are you trying, Kay?
What?
Nice job.
Top 5, baby. I'll take it.
Yeah, for that last question, remember that Congress could not tax. The states could do that. They couldn't regulate the trade, but they could declare war. All right. Now I need you to put away those newspapers I just gave you. You can use those for studying this weekend. Now let's see. Everyone's here, right? So we should have 17, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 16, 17. All right, we're going to need groups of 3 or 4 students. I need to see all those newspapers away before we can continue. Ray, Ji-John, time for phones is past.
First 5 minutes.
That should not be an issue. All right, so we're going to need groups of 3 or 4. Can I trust you to pick your own groups, or should I help you? Trust you? All right, groups of 3 or 4. Can you have group of 5?
No.
Group of 2?
No.
3 or 4. All right, let's take 30 seconds to sit with our groups.
Ellie, come in.
Go.
Let's make the team overpowered.
Three. Oh, yeah, there your chairs. Oh, perfect. You bring your chairs here, that way you can face them. Yeah, if you haven't already, maybe in each group you can have 2 books. 2 books per group. Julia. All right, here's how this activity is going to work. You'll get a stack of papers. Each one has a picture. What's your book? Not yet. Each one has a picture of an event or a document we talked about. First thing I want you to do is write the name of each one and put them in order. All right? I'll give some of you the dates already. That'll make it easier. Some of you will have the challenge of trying to find the dates in the books. In the book. So you'll put them in order. When you have the order, raise your hand and I'll check. Once I make sure it's in the correct order, then you can answer the question. Each paper has a couple questions that goes with it. All right, Ellie, what's the first thing you're going to do?
Label what each picture shows.
Then what's the second thing, DK? After you label the name and the date, what do you do? Yeah, put them in order. Good. And then you'll raise your hand and I'll check. Let's go. You guys are?
Basically throw,
Yes.
so there are no, like,
What'd you
they
do?
keep with,
There's no what?
they keep with the topic revised, no?
Okay, let's go. There's no what? You'll get that after. This is just a class activity. I'll give you your review sheet later. Let's get first.
You want to know what the unit is?
I know 76.
What is the wrong thing for me?
There's 2 that are the same year, so you're going to have to figure out which one came.
Seriously, right?
I guess they use no S's. So the first thing we're going to do is find the name of the same thing. And then be in order, so I need you. Don't worry about the A.
Oh, no.
What's that? Holiday in America. The Independence Day. Or, that's what it's called.
Hey.
No, 78, 79. No, 77.
This one's Christmas.
Okay, these two that they have on. Here. Yeah, you know what it is. This is after one. After that
On that page.
You were?
Oh, wait. Hey, let's play present. Let's
Alright, I know it's not.
Wait.
Guys, DK, right. Okay, here's the name of the document.
이제 트윗 좀
Maybe not.
On these sheets I gave you today, it has everything that's going to be on the test. But since I know there's a bunch of you, you're each going to get one of these things that has everything written out in the normal way of what's going to be on the test. The test will, or the quiz, will be on Monday. How many questions did you get right off the quiz? Too many to count? Yeah,
Okay, sure, check out this.
Yeah, actually with technology, that was kind of one of the harder things for me, and just in the school in general, because the classes I've taught at other schools, like the students don't have like technology, like maybe there's a computer lab, but we only go there like, you know, once every few months or something.
Right.
So in here, it's sort of like,
Just a part of their life.
like, yeah, like they always have their phones or their iPads or something, and like sometimes I've done activities and they'll bring in their laptops, and it's nice.
Those tablets, you know, they all get a tablet if they want one.
Yeah.
This year was the first year we decided if they want to bring their own device, they can do that. We have some textbooks that are on, that we can put on the computers.
Yeah, that's what Toby said, was that last year all his books were,
Yeah, we've tried to get away from that.
yeah, he said it was
The
distracting.
Well, yeah, and the reason, when you're an English language learner, I think it's so important to have a book in front of you.
Yeah.
It seems like the students, it allows you too as a teacher to be in the same place the kids are at. Those books that go on the computer, you can't necessarily see what they're actually looking at sometimes.
Yeah.
A book open, you see white paper, black print.
Yeah.
But
And
a
yeah,
computer
you
open,
know
and I'm
what
sitting
they're
there
doing.
like this, with them facing me.
Yeah.
You don't know
no
if I'm
idea.
playing a computer game or not.
It's just hard to focus too. Like for my course, all of the materials are online, so we'll often have to read a chapter on a PDF or something, and it's hard to focus
Yeah,
on that when you're scrolling instead of like flipping a book.
yeah.
It's hard to focus. So I think it's good. That
It
they
is,
use
and
that.
I think the one thing that's really nice about it is some of the apps that you can use. And if the kids have their, like when you did the Kahoots thing,
Yeah.
the kids have their phones right
I
with
should
them.
have found that like before, because I've done because I wanted to do kind of a review quiz at the beginning of class, sort of to remind them what we did the day before. And I've done just I write it on PowerPoint and they answer. But I think with the Kahoot thing, it was a little bit more interactive.
Yeah. Have you ever used Plickers?
No.
I think that's free online too.
How do you
Clickers,
spell that? Let me
well,
write it down.
you've heard of clickers before that go along with smart boards? Okay. Clickers often, you might get in the
Clickers?
old days, it was about 5 years ago, when you bought a smart board, you get these devices that kids could hang on to, and you might be up there doing things like a Kahoots, and they're clicking on what they feel the answer is, okay? Well, now, the students can have this one, it's like almost like a Scantron, but it's not, it's a shape on their paper. And everybody's shape might be a little bit different. But if I hold my shape this way, and you take your phone and use your camera and go around and look at the room, if I'm holding this the wrong direction, I mean, this might mean yes, this might mean no, this might mean A, B, C, D. In other words, if I'm holding it wrong, when you come across me, it'll put a red line right in front of my chest. Yep.
Wow.
And it records everything throughout the discussion of a class, and you can see when students are having a difficult time.
That's
And if
really
it's just
cool.
once, yeah, but
Does it
keeps all
work
the
well?
data. It works really well.
Yeah.
I mean, Kia, Brandon, they use it, and they like it.
It's Plicker? How do you spell it?
Yeah, Plickers, P-L-I-C.
CK?
Yeah, I think it's C-K.
Or maybe just K?
Let me look, I think it's C-K. E-R-S.
Plickers?
Yeah.
Do they need, no, they don't need an app, because they don't have their own device, they just have the
No,
paper.
you just need it, and they have the
Oh.
paper. It's printed, and it's almost like
Yeah.
everybody has their own different Scantron.
Yeah.
And that, it depends on how they hold it, will determine it.
And if they each have a different
And they
shape,
know
then they
because
can't copy each other?
Yeah, and by the way, it might be that tiny.
Oh,
So from a distance, you can't tell
Oh,
if this
they-
is yes or no,
yeah.
but the student knows.
oh
Oh,
wow.
by the way, I think it's like this, so if it's a yes, it's held like this, or like
Yeah.
this. And it's all, yeah, it's pretty cool. I kind of let it, when it comes to those kinds of technology devices, I think that's really cool. Play Store, let's see if it says Plickers here. Plickers? Yeah. Yeah, it is, that's right,
Yeah, that never would occur to me, that's pretty
like
cool.
this, looks like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, I'll try it.
Here's
Yeah,
one.
that's good to know because I'm always looking for like a new technology
Right,
thing to use. But that sounds good because students wouldn't be required to like have their own device.
you know, sometimes it is too, where you say, you ask students to raise their hand, you call them.
Yeah.
When they do this,
Yeah.
it gives you a sense of,
Yeah.
okay, Rose doesn't know the answer
Yeah.
to this one.
Yeah,
And it records it.
Yeah, wow.
The other kids don't know,
Yeah, that's good.
but she knows to help, or you would know to help that student then.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. Let's see what else.
Grade Cam is a good one.
Grade Cam? Is
Yeah.
that similar?
No, Grade Cam, now, if you want to get the full-blown, it costs like $15 a month.
Oh, wow.
Now, we paid for it for a couple of the teachers, but if you want to just do it for free, it's kind of like, what is the name of that? That one program that I used to use. Anyway, you can do up to 10 questions for free. And it's a multiple choice Scantron. So it's, it's A, B, C, D. I put in this, question 1, A, B, C, D. I can do up to 10. I can do this, A, B, C, D, E, or whatever. Put up to 10 questions. And you can use it's probably sometimes easier to use your computer than your phone. You turn your camera on, and no kidding, it's about, you get done, you got a pile of quizzes sitting here, you go like this.
Oh, and it grades it for you.
Grades it all. And it'll tell you, like, it'll give you a readout for like, out of 20 kids, 18 kids got number 4 wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you probably have to reteach number 4 then,
Yeah.
because all kids got it wrong. So I mean, it gives you an idea of,
Yeah.
it gives you also.
So you download something to your computer and then.
Yeah, Grade Cam is also, I mean,
Okay.
it's on
Yeah.
here, and yeah, so it's also another one that's
Interesting.
good. Brandon, Kia, ASAR, a couple others. All right.
Yeah,
If you use that,
yeah, that
pretty
would,
good.
I think mostly for the tests that I and Toby have done, it's not really multiple choice.
Yeah,
Like
it
maybe
has to
there'll be a,
multiple choice, and it has to be yes, no.
but that would be good
question
for
and that.
certain,
Yeah,
for certain
exactly.
classes.
So for
Yeah.
example, if you're doing a huge multiple choice yes, no kind of test,
Yeah,
true false kind of test, then all of a sudden, well, you can do like 30, 40, 50 questions, and
wow,
done.
that's
I
amazing.
wish I had that when I was
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's,
So those are just some ideas for you. I mean, there's probably a million others.
yeah. Yeah, it's good. I think, yeah, technology is definitely somewhere that I'd like to improve
Yeah.
in. There's a ton of things I'm sure I can just keep finding. And there's probably new things every year
Yeah.
like that.
And wherever you get a job in the future, obviously, we're right now using Edmodo, but Google Classroom,
Mhm.
some place like Moodle, it's good to get to know what those are. You know?
Yeah.
I like Edmodo when we use it because it's not necessarily just for the kids, it's for the teacher too, because there's so many opportunities to look at some professional development or read an article or whatever
Yeah.
it might be. Pick up
Okay.
a great idea, teaching
Yeah.
a class. So,
Right.
because you use Kahoots, it allows you to get this.
Yeah.
Because if I come in and don't see any technology, it's okay. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. It just means I didn't observe it.
Yeah, probably most of the time.
This
I
is
don't.
me. There's nothing that says you have
Yeah.
to score these things.
Yeah,
I do it on
yeah.
everybody, but I don't have to. But because when you start looking at it, you go, okay, 3s and 4s all the way on. Okay, what's this 2 about? Knows the rules and consequences of fair. I observed it, but you know what? You know why it's probably not a big deal? Because nobody was really in trouble.
Yeah.
See, there's nothing that helps me know if they. So a lot of times people get 2s and 1s and that because we don't have kind of kids that.
Yeah, and a lot of them are more applicable to like a primary school class where you're like reviewing the rules or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like if you're teaching here, for example, you're teaching health and PE, and
Yeah.
maybe or all of a sudden you start talking about applying this to your some real life kind of thing. All of a sudden it becomes huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's tough for history because it doesn't really, especially for the kids that
Yeah.
have never been to America or don't know much about it, it's hard to make it applicable to their lives here.
But it does end up being a cultural
Yeah.
discussion a lot of times.
Yeah.
Cultural differences kind of question.
Yeah, I tried to do that with like Independence Day and stuff.
Yeah.
Talking about that.
Yeah.
We'll see. They just got their tests and the scores range.
Well,
June '95, of
well,
course.
of course.
Of course.
And he's just really a brilliant kid.
Yeah, he is.
He's always going to do really well.
And of course, the Americans have a
Yeah.
advantage.
Advantage. And then you take a student like,
Is Minu, Alex.
and,
They just didn't study.
yeah. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah. They're just overconfident. They just don't study.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But they'll get to like fix some of their mistakes.
Yeah.
I think Toby always lets them do that.
Yeah. It's not a bad learning experience. And with middle school, it's probably not such a concern with, credit gaining and grades. It's more about achievement. Are they getting better at reading?
Yeah, it's the
writing,
same
speaking?
for some of the 6th grade kids. They had a test yesterday too, and it's like the ones who really studied, like Yunjae, he got over 100%, and then some of the other ones less than 50.
Mhm.
It's so strange.
I also.
They just don't have the study skills. They're still like 10 years old.
Yeah, you're right. They are. They're like 10 years. They are 10 years old. Some of those kids.
They're born in. They told me yesterday they were born in like 2004. So
Yeah.
11.
I think you got some 6th graders, a couple people born in 2005 that are actually just 10 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe it was.
And it's tough in the school too because kids, there's always a new kid or something, so they've missed a lot. Like Ken, that new kid from Vietnam, he missed like half of this. So he tried to catch up, but it's just impossible.
Yeah.
We'll see.
No. If there's one piece of advice I always give you as you prepare, is pay attention to these kind of things. Like you said, watching those videos, they always give you some ideas.
Yeah. Oh, I need to give you back here.
Do ghost walks.
Flashback.
Hey, because you're a student teacher, you know what you should do now this week? Next week? You should go around to other classrooms
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Not just social studies, not just Zach, but I'm talking about even if the teachers aren't there, just to walk in, the classes aren't there, just to walk in, look at the walls and look at the ideas. If, for example, Sitwat's room,
Mm-hmm.
ever been up to her room?
I've seen it. I haven't been inside.
Even Zach's room.
Yeah.
Just tons of student work. Tons of student work. And it's really kind of cool to see that, because I think students, especially in middle school, high school, they really pay attention to the work they've done. But you hang up a poster of your own, they probably won't even read it all year long unless you told them to. So I think it's really good when student work on the walls, projects on the walls.
Yeah, I put up the ones from a project from last month, and they really liked seeing them.
Yeah.
From they got to see the other classes work and stuff.
Yeah. If you were to go in and watch an English course, like let's say whether it's Sarah or with Leroy, it's different. It's now if you're doing, let's say you walk into Leroy's literature courses, they're having conversations about something in the story, deep. He makes them probe deeper and deeper. I think they get like, oh, this is hard, this is difficult. So I also like the exemplars. Like if Sitwat has had a project done from last year, she'll show it to the kids. And the kids are always challenged to do better than the best project of last year. The idea of walking into like Matt Kelly's room, high school science, where he's teaching, you're not going to understand what he's teaching probably, unless you're a chemistry person.
No,
but he's
definitely
he's
not.
a chemistry expert.
Yeah.
So when they're talking about molecules and bonding and atoms and they're doing all these mathematical problems, it's like, and they've got the PowerPoint presentations and the way kids are engaged in his vocabulary, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You start to think,
I'll try to
how
do that
can those
this week.
6th and 7th graders get to that level?
Yeah.
Kia is one to go watch if you want to see all the kinds of plickers.
Which
and
this
math. She's the
high school math? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
her and Brandon both.
Okay.
You might see quite a few apps being used.
Okay, good.